I'm sorry, it's not a good sign that I'm bringing water with me. We've done a lot in Summit this year, so it might take a little time. Good evening, my fellow residents, members of Common Council, and city staff. Welcome to our honored guests who have been here and had to leave, but then those who have stayed. I wish you all a happy, prosperous, and healthy new year. I want to begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the many voters in Summit who have given me the opportunity to serve as your mayor for another 4 years. I am grateful for your trust, and I truly look forward to continuing my responsibilities to our city. I also want to thank my wonderful family, my husband Rob, my son Jess and daughter-in-law Lauren, my daughter Emma, and of course my granddaughter Grace, who is sound asleep in bed. You give me great joy, and I could not do this job without your unstinting support, so thank you. Tonight it is my honor to stand before you and report that 2019 was a year of significant accomplishment in Summit. Together we made a resilient city even stronger through the implementation of a number of thoughtful and fiscally responsible civic improvements. A few changes in the makeup of council. Councilman Mike McTurnan has retired, and newly elected Danny O'Sullivan has joined the dais. Councilwoman Marjorie Fox has been elected council president. Council members Steve Bowman and Beth Little were re-elected in 2019, and Councilwoman Susan Hairston was elected to take the seat vacated by our dear departed colleague, Matthew Gould. We remain extremely grateful for the time, creativity, and intelligence that he shared with council, city staff, and many residents. We are all better off because of his generous service. And thank you to Stephanie Gould for serving in your husband's place until the November election. I'm also grateful to Mike McTurnan for his thoughtful, smart leadership on council. He is a consummate gentleman. We wish him well in his teaching career, and we'll certainly miss him as a colleague on council. Members of Common Council and I have worked diligently to move the city forward while keeping an ever-present eye on the bottom line of our city budget. It continues to be a priority that council, city staff, and I work closely together to address the needs and concerns of our residents and business owners. Consistent communication is absolutely critical, and actively engaging with the community on a more than daily basis will remain an important imperative. We live in a world with a diminishing degree of respect for institutions, but I am confident that in 2020, we will continue to enjoy our Summit tradition of civility, robust debate, and thoughtful outcomes with the collective goal of a well-run city, the best in the state. Communication continues to be a major priority for me as mayor. I will maintain my weekday and weeknight office hours, meet the mayor events on weekends, and meetings by appointment. I have enjoyed speaking with many residents and business owners during my first term as mayor, and I appreciate you taking the time to share your thoughts and concerns. As a city, our strength lies in our ability to define priorities and work together to make them a reality. To do that, we need to be informed citizens, and we need to be able to share our ideas, experiences, and skills. If you have not already done so, please go to the city website and sign up to receive text or email notifications on emergency information, city services, events, and information on all sorts of municipal activities in town. It really is the best way to keep abreast of what's going on. Traffic on our website continues to grow. We often exceed 30,000 visits a month. The City of Summit actively posts on Facebook and Twitter with 2 to 3 posts a day. In 2019, we increased our Facebook page likes and followers by 22% and Twitter by 25%. We have expanded our video capability and regularly post on our YouTube channel, and please follow and like the City of Summit on social media. And if you have another idea about how we can better reach you with information, we would love to hear it. Please email pressoffice@cityofsummit.org. This year is the mandatory national census, and I have been working closely with the Communications Office to encourage all residents to answer the census questionnaire. The number of legislators allotted to communities and the distribution of $765 billion in federal funding is based solely on census data. For the first time, we will be able to answer the census online, and the Census Bureau is hoping that many people will do so. That will begin in mid-March. We will also have the option to answer a paper questionnaire. The challenge is to assure people that census data is confidential and critical to obtain. To that end, I have created an ad hoc committee of community leaders and heads of leading institutions and have enlisted their help in communicating with their constituents. You will be hearing much more about this from me in the next few months. I'm looking for 100% participation here in Summit. A wonderful example of our ability to join together across demographics of age and income for the benefit of our residents has been achieved with the opening in May of our impressive new community center. The Department of Community Programs has increased its programs significantly. The community center has 183 senior members who enjoy yoga, tai chi, and mahjong each week. A new senior pickleball program has been added, and staff has collaborated with the YMCA and the Connection to offer a senior wellness expo. The number of open gym members is 475, and an average of 35 to 40 children participate in the after-school program each day. In addition to volleyball and basketball, new programs such as Zumba, yoga, badminton, and futsal have been added. The center offers over 40 special needs programs serving 367 participants and over 75 general programs serving approximately 2,000 individuals and an expanded summer camp program with over 180 children. The new building is providing exactly what we had hoped for, a wonderful facility for all members of our community. I am certainly very proud and grateful to the city leaders who approved the $6.5 million to build this facility and the residents and corporate partners who contributed nearly $1.5 million to the project. If you have not been to the center, stop by and the staff will happily give you a tour. Our downtown is flourishing. I am happy that there is ample good news to share on that front. Our retail vacancy rate is at 0.19%. with only a few unleased vacant spaces. Several new businesses have opened, reflecting a modern mix of experiential and traditional retail. The space formerly occupied by Bombay Bistro is now Ani Ramen, and the space vacated by the Summit Food Market will be divided between the Bull and Bear Microbrewery and the Lash Lounge. The former newspaper store on the corner of Beechwood Road and Springfield Avenue is now the Shade Store. In addition, the ground floor of 47 Maple Street houses Special Properties, a subsidiary of Christie's. Additionally, corporate tenants see a value in locating in downtown Summit. Employees want to be in a location where they can walk to restaurants and shops. This is great for ratables as well as street life. I appreciate the strength of the pedestrian traffic that helps to support this important community asset, particularly when some of our neighboring towns with similar demographics labored with 15% vacancy rates as recently as 1 year ago. The Planning Board thoroughly reviewed and updated the development regulations and ordinances. The review was prompted by requests made by residents during the master plan process in 2016. The review took nearly 2 years to complete, and the DRO now contains design and sustainability standards. The Planning Board will review the historic preservation criteria in 2020. One of the most important responsibilities of the city is to maintain and improve its infrastructure, which is crucial to resident safety and public health. While these projects are not generally very exciting, residents are always happy when streets are repaved or otherwise improved. In 2019, the city repaved 1.5 miles of roads and micropaved 3 miles of roads. We completed 5 major infrastructure projects improving drainage, sewers, sidewalks, and roadways throughout town, including Oakland and Linden Place, Laurel Avenue and Wallace Road, and Phase 2 of the Village Green improvements. Most of us only notice road work, but with miles of sanitary and storm sewers and thousands of sanitary and storm structures, a significant portion of city infrastructure is underground. As I said, these projects are not exciting, but good stewardship of our physical surroundings is a hallmark of what makes Summit such a well-run and desirable place to live. The Department of Community Services has many areas of responsibility beyond road work. The department continues to use technology to improve service to residents and business owners. In 2019, DCS processed 3,245 C-Click Fix requests, reviewed 270 engineering permits, which was a 16% increase over 2018. Total construction office revenues are up $20,000. as well, which is over 2018. The department created FAQs in multiple divisions to improve customer service, completed a snow and ice control plan, and the city's community forestry management plan was approved by the state. The city entered into an agreement with the Parkline Foundation that delineates the respective responsibilities of the city and the foundation regarding construction and maintenance. At this time, the foundation has hired an engineering firm to determine the feasibility and cost of building the Parkline. The city will decide how and if to move forward. Working with the DCS staff, Council passed restrictions on the use of single-use plastic checkout bags, the use of polystyrene food containers, and how plastic straws are distributed. Our stewardship of our roads and sewers is an important factor in safety. But of course, our safety mainstay here in Summit is our outstanding police force, providing the most professional, dedicated, and community-based service in the state. As you may know, we reinstituted a traffic unit over 2 years ago with the primary goal of enforcing moving violations when necessary. In 2019, over 1,000 summonses were given to motorists for not following the rules of the road, mostly for speeding and distracted driving. Motor vehicle accidents were down from 934 in 2018 to 738 at the end of November 2019. Motor vehicle stops were up in 2019, which I think correlates with the reduction of motor vehicle accidents. Unfortunately, many of those summonses have been issued to Summit residents. Please slow down and use care when navigating our Summit roadways. The department continues to answer over 35,000 service calls a year, and its community policing unit continues its excellent programs, including the addition of a self-defense class for high school and middle school young women and girls. Another important safety priority is to improve conditions we know to be dangerous. Last year, we installed a four-way stops at various intersections, and while drivers needed some time to adjust to the new stop signs, most people appreciate them. In addition, the Public Safety Committee authorized the installation of speed humps as well as illuminated crosswalk signals at intersections with high pedestrian traffic. Every member of council and I receive complaints about speeding in town, some perceived and some are reality. And we are determined to continue to take whatever steps necessary to address and decrease speeding issues that occur in our city. While the police and engineering department can educate, enforce, and redesign roadways and intersections for safer travel for pedestrians and motorists alike, it is incumbent upon each of us to travel with deliberation and focus, whether by car, by bike, or on foot. As a result of several requests from residents for more sidewalks to increase the walkability of our town, Council approved a sidewalk master plan. Now, sidewalks will be installed as road work is performed on streets designated to receive sidewalks. Additionally, Council removed the requirement for homeowners to pay half the cost of the installation. Unfortunately, we did have 11 residential vehicle thefts in 2019. In every instance, the cars were unlocked, and the keys or fobs were left in the cars. This behavior is making neighborhoods less safe because would-be thieves know they can often access vehicles quite easily in our town. I implore every vehicle owner to lock your cars and keep the keys inside the house. Taxes. I need some water for that. Taxes are never a popular topic, but nonetheless, crucial to the fiscal health and quality of our life here in Summit. While it is important to maintain and improve city infrastructure, we are always mindful of the demands on our taxpayers. We had a 0% municipal tax increase in 2018 and a 1% increase in 2019, and council and city staff are working diligently to develop a stable budget for 2020. We face many pressures on our budget, not least of which are increasing demands for capital projects. All of us want the city to be in the best possible repair, but prioritization and vision are essential. As I mentioned, we completed the community center in 2019. We also entered into an agreement with the Summit Conservancy to build the Summit Free Market building at the transfer station. This is a great example of a viable public-private partnership to enable an enormously popular program, free cycling, to continue on a more permanent basis. Additionally, the city sold 71 Summit Avenue to Family Promise for its full appraised value. To maximize the impact of our tax dollars, I continue to stay in close contact with our Union County freeholders to ensure they understand the needs of our city and provide all of the assistance they can. In 2018, the freeholders delivered a budget that was under the 2% cap, and in 2019, the increase was 1.75%. These increases were the lowest in years and demonstrate the freeholders' understanding that cities like Summit cannot continue to pay exorbitant taxes to the county. We received $108,000 in grants from Union County this past year and $357,000 in grants from the state of New Jersey. Additionally, Union County is sharing 50% of the cost for planting 1,000 trees over the next 4 years. Continued vigilance of our urban canopy is vitally important for the health, beauty, water control, and property values of our residents, and maintaining an informed dialogue with county freeholders and state representatives is critical to our cooperative relationship. We are very fortunate to live in a city that offers first-class services and amenities, which we both enjoy and have come to expect. Increasing our asset base is an important factor if we want to hold the line on taxes. As you may know, Celgene was purchased by Bristol-Myers Squibb in 2019, and they expect to relocate personnel from the 44-acre property on Morris Avenue near the community center to their 95-acre location on Western Morris Avenue. They anticipate the relocation to be complete by the end of 2021 and the eventual sale of the Bob Hugen campus. I firmly believe that this is an opportunity to bring in one or more tenants or owners to the Eastern Morris Avenue location. In the last few years, Celgene spent more than $160 million on a central office building and conference center on that location. Council is keeping a close eye on this transaction, and we will do everything we can to help bring one or more viable occupants to this desirable location. We have a strong residential rateable base that has shown positive incremental growth in recent years. In 2019, we experienced an increase in construction value of approximately $28 million. But frankly, that's not enough to avoid tax increases while delivering the services that we have all come to expect from the city. Increased ratables, both residential and commercial, are a crucial component to a healthy city budget. That is why we are proceeding with thoughtful redevelopment in the Broad Street West corridor. One of the clearest mandates of the master plan re-exam process in 2016 was a need for balanced redevelopment. The national housing market now places a premium on the ability to live within walking distance of a vibrant town center with proximity to shops, restaurants, places of work, and mass transit. Summit is uniquely positioned to take advantage of this trend. We are a transit hub 20 miles from New York City with a thriving downtown and an excellent school system. The obvious opportunity for redevelopment is Broad Street West, an area of town that has been called out for thoughtful change for the last 30 years. In 2018, Council declared the 10-acre Broad Street West area as an area in need of redevelopment. This designation allows the city to offer tax incentives to redevelopers, and it also allows the city to maintain control over the type, quality, and quantity of the redevelopment initiatives. As I mentioned last year, this designation is one of non-condemnation, meaning that any of the private property owners in the designated area in need of redevelopment can participate in the redevelopment or choose not to. The city does not have the desire or statutory authority to force any of these owners to participate. A steering committee made up of council members, city staff, members of the planning board, and our planning professionals and me met throughout 2019 to review proposals and interview developers. We chose a consortium of L&M and Toll Brothers to be conditionally designated as developers of this site. The agreement includes an escrow by the developer for funds to be paid to city professionals during the planning phase. The next step will be to negotiate the redevelopment agreement with the developer and to lay out in detail the specifics of the buildings to be built, the amount of money that the developer will pay for the city-owned property, a timetable for construction and phasing, and penalties for missing deadlines, etc. In the meantime, and to maintain control of the space, the city purchased 7 Cedar Street because it is in the center of the redevelopment area. I want to re-emphasize how fortunate we are to be positioned to take advantage of this opportunity for careful and thoughtful redevelopment of an underutilized part of our downtown at no cost to taxpayers, and with the future benefit of an increased tax base. Summit has gone from strength to strength when it comes to our downtown, and it is a pleasure and pride to me as mayor to see people out and enjoying Summit's downtown at all seasons of the year, whether it be at movie night on the Green, at the farmers market on Sundays, or out shopping and dining during the holidays. Adding another pedestrian-friendly area to our current downtown allows us to increase our opportunity to have experiences like these, which increases our desirability as a community while adding to the well-being of our residents. I appreciate the positive energy, forethought, and collaborative spirit of our council members, residents, and city staff who have contributed to the redevelopment process, helping make sure that this project provides value not just for current residents, but for future generations of Summit residents. One important synergy of the Broad Street West redevelopment project is that it will help us address a significant need for a new city firehouse. One of the most important responsibilities I feel as mayor is to keep our citizens safe. There were 2 major house fires here in Summit in 2019, providing a serious reminder of the debt we owe our brave and excellent firefighters. It is a testament to their planning and training that there were no life-threatening injuries. In 2019, the fire department responded to 2,400 emergency calls ranging from severe weather issues to fires. The department also performed 800 inspections of commercial and residential properties. Currently, we have a firehouse that is 100 years old. It was built for a generation of equipment that cannot meet today's needs. It is not even large enough to accommodate the size of modern fire engines. In addition, it is in serious need of repair and upgrades. This is a responsibility we cannot shirk. Fortunately, the current building site can be sold as part of the Broad Street West redevelopment process, allowing additional flexibility in negotiations with the developer and significantly defraying the costs. Thorough research has determined that the best location for a new firehouse is on a portion of the non-resident commuter parking on Broad Street, which is next to the Salerno-Duane office. This year, we will finalize plans for the new firehouse, begin the bidding process, and hopefully break ground in mid-2020. The location of the firehouse will necessitate some reconfiguring of parking spaces, but I want everyone to know that determining a parking plan during the construction of the firehouse is priority number 1. This is indeed a very large capital project. The anticipated cost is approximately $11.5 million. I realize that this is a significant decision and may seem like a risk, but it was not a decision that was made lightly. A new building, it is an absolute necessity, and this is one of those tough decisions that council and I are elected to shepherd through our community. I am confident that we will find the most cost-effective way to make this investment in our public safety. Parking. Finally, the ever-popular topic of parking. Council and I, working with the Parking Services Agency, continue to look for acceptable parking solutions in our downtown. In 2016, we pioneered the promotion of ride-sharing as a way to ease parking congestion in the downtown. This year, we expanded the program to include 300 commuters and resident employees. The parking kiosks that were installed in 2018 have greatly improved turnover in the premium downtown parking spaces. The kiosks work especially well with the Park mobile app that the city adopted a few years ago. If you have not tried the app yet, I strongly encourage you to do so. This new kiosk system not only helps our merchants, it helps all of us find a space in town when we need one. I am certain that through the Broad Street West redevelopment project, we will increase parking to address existing parking deficits, as well as parking needs created by new development. On a lighter note, the city partnered with Summit Public Art to install a mural on the tiered garage on Springfield Avenue. If you have not seen it, take a drive through the garage. It's really wonderful. Many of you have heard me say that Summit's best asset is its people, and that continues to be true. Tonight, we will recognize the many men and women who have volunteered on various boards and committees. They are all committed to making Summit the best that it can be, and their hours of service are invaluable. We are committed to engaging even more citizen volunteers to help create a plan for the future of our city. and we are fortunate to have community members who have tremendous talent and are willing to share their expertise. I also want to thank the hundreds of residents who have generously donated money and items to the victims of the 2 house fires that occurred in the last few months. Tens of thousands of dollars have been collected through GoFundMe pages for our fellow residents. As the late Mayor Walter Long used to say, Summit is a little heart with a big city. It's a little city with a big heart. Jordan Glad is laughing at me, I can tell. Summit is a little city with a big heart. Having been your mayor for 4 years, I am here to tell you that in addition to the strength of our volunteers, our paid professionals, the men and women who work for the city are exemplary. We live in a world where trust is in short supply, but I do not find that to be the case in Summit. We receive thousands of requests for assistance and/or improvements from residents and business owners, and our professional and dedicated city staff always respond. These requests come to us because people trust that we will help them. And they trust us because the men and women who work for the city work hard and take pride in their jobs and in our city. Much of the innovation I have discussed tonight is the result of the hard work and creativity of these individuals. Finally, please do not underestimate the uniquely cooperative relationship council members and I have with one another and with city staff. I am proud that our goal is to work together, leading Summit to become an even greater city than it already is. Again, it has been a pleasure working with the 2019 Council. It truly has been an honor and a privilege, and I look forward to all that we can accomplish in 2020. Thank you, God bless, and Happy New Year.